Hello everyone, welcome to this online and digital classroom. My name is Roshan, your geography teacher, and you are here in this channel, Learn Geography with Roshan. This is the second part of the lesson insulation. As we have discussed the first part regarding the introduction and heating of the atmosphere, in this video we shall discuss about the factors affecting the distribution of temperature. So there are various factors affecting the distribution of temperature. These factors are latitude, altitude, distance from the sea, winds, ocean currents, clouds and rainfall, slope of the land, vegetation and nature of the soil. So there are numerous factors which affect the distribution of temperature. The temperature is not uniform in all parts of the earth. It is different due to these numerous factors. Coming towards the latitude, how the latitude make differences of temperature in different areas. The places close to the equator have higher temperature and are warmer, hotter than places away from the equators. So as we know that in the equatorial areas the sunlight is direct. So in the equatorial areas the temperature is bit warmer and hotter. Whereas in the polar areas the temperature is very cool, because those areas, the areas will be receiving slanting rays of the sun. This is because the sun rays reach the earth after passing through the layers of the atmosphere. In the low latitudes, the sun rays are direct and have to travel a lesser extent through the atmosphere. Hence, the heat of these rays is more intense, but in high latitudes, the sun rays are slanting and have to pass through a greater extent of atmosphere. So as we also have studied and learned about the heat zones of the earth or temperature zones of the earth, the torrid zone, temperate zone and frigid zones. The torrid zone will be having extreme temperature, temperate zone will be having the bit moderate temperature, and moving towards the frigid zone will be having the extreme cold temperature. Hence, these rays lose heat, and so the areas in the high latitude are not very hot as compared to the equatorial regions. This is the way the temperature zones are formed on the Earth's surface. So the temperature zones are divided according to the variation of the temperature that is received on the Earth's surface. Right. Moving towards altitude, the height of a place above the mean sea level is the altitude of the place. The elevation of the place above mean sea level is termed as altitude. The atmosphere is mostly heated by conduction. Air is cooler at higher altitudes than near the Earth's surface. As we know that the atmosphere is being heated up by the process of conduction. So the surface of the earth will be having more heat than the higher level of the atmosphere. When we move towards the high places or in the hills or mountain areas, the places are very cool. So the places near the earth's surface are warmer than places higher up. With the increase of the height, temperature decreases. For every 166 meters, the temperature falls by 1 degree Celsius. This is known as normal lapse rate. This is the reason why hill stations are cooler even in summer. So remember the term normal lapse rate. What is it? For every 166 meters, 1 degree Celsius of temperature will be decreased. That is known as normal lapse rate. That's why in the summer seasons, though it is extreme hot in the plain areas, in the hill areas or in the mountain areas, it is cool. Inversion of temperature. Inversion of temperature means opposite of normal lapse rate. As we know, the normal lapse rate for every 166 meter, 1 degree Celsius of temperature is reduced. But in terms of inversion of temperature, it doesn't happen. It increases. It maintains the same temperature as it is. The temperature decreases at the rate of about 1 degree Celsius per 166 meter or 6 degree Celsius per 1000 meters of altitude. However, there are some places where certain spatial conditions in the lower atmosphere produce a reversal of the normal lapse rate, so that the temperature actually increases with an increase in altitude. This is known as temperature inversions. So in some places the temperature doesn't change, it increases with increased altitude. That is termed as the inversion of temperature or temperature inversion. Distance from the sea. The places near to the sea will have moderate climate, that is known as maritime climate, due to nearness to sea and are influenced by the land and sea breeze. The places far away from the sea will have extreme climate, that is continental climate, too hot during the summer and too cold during the winter season. You could see the places near to the sea will have the moderate climate or equable climate. They will be having maritime climate because they are influenced by the land and sea breeze. But when you compare with the interior part of the country or the places which are far away from the sea, will be experiencing continental type of climate or extreme climate. During the summer seasons, it will be having extreme hot, and during the winter seasons it will be having extreme cold. But in the coastal areas, it is throughout the year moderate climate will be experienced. Land gets heated faster as compared to water. Therefore, during the daytime, land gets more heated than the surrounding oceans. So they will have equable climate or maritime climate when the areas are close to water bodies. Whereas the areas which are far away from the sea and which are in the interior without the moderating influence of the sea experience continental or extreme type of climate. For example, you can see equable climate, that is Mumbai, Goa, Chennai. These places are located nearby the sea, coastal areas. But extreme climate will be experiencing the places which are away from the sea. For example, Nagpur, Lucknow and Delhi. We could see that during the summer season we experience extreme hot, and during the winter season we experience extreme cold. So this is how the differences makes due to the distance from the sea. Next is ocean currents. Ocean currents increase or decrease the temperature of Earth's surface. Ocean currents are of two categories. As we have already discussed in hydrosphere chapter, that there are two types of ocean currents, warm currents and the cold currents. Warm currents which flow from equatorial to polar region, cold currents which move from polar regions to lower equatorial latitudes. For example, you can see Gulf Stream, that is warm current flowing from the equator to the polar areas, and Labrador current, that is cold current from the polar areas to equator, that flows. So that is how it flows. There are some more things to learn from the ocean currents. Ocean currents along the coast make the coastal areas warmer, and cold currents make it cooler than usual. So the ocean currents which are warm will make the coastal areas warm, and the cold currents which are cool makes the coastal areas cool wherever they blow. Ocean currents can be noticed on the eastern margins of the continents in the middle latitudes, while the cold currents flow at the western margins of the continents. You could notice in the eastern margins of the continent, the ocean currents mainly blow the eastern margins, the warm ocean currents mainly blow in the eastern margins of the continent, and the cold currents blow in the western margins of the continent. You could see the example. You can see the Atlantic Ocean. Atlantic Ocean is located between Europe, Africa, North America and South America. You could see we are talking about the margin of continent. We are not talking about the margin of oceans. So the western side of the oceans or eastern margin of the continents will be blowing warm ocean currents, and the eastern side of the ocean of the Atlantic, that is western margin of the continent, that is Europe and Africa, these areas the cold currents will be blowing. So that's how the differences of the areas are distributed and the temperature is affected. Winds. Winds also modify the temperature of a place where they blow. Winds which blow from sea to land are called onshore winds and carry moisture. Underline this word and learn onshore winds and offshore winds. The winds which move from sea to land, it is moving towards onshore. So it is known as onshore winds. And the winds which blow from land to sea are called offshore winds. So the winds which blow from the land to sea, it is moving from land to sea, leaving the land area and moving towards the sea. So it is offshore winds. A cold wind blowing from the interior of the continent during the winter further reduces the temperature of the places along their path. You could see that the cold wind which blows nearby the polar areas, if they come towards the middle latitudes, it also reduces the temperature of that area. During winter season mainly, when the wind blows from Himalayan areas, when there is a westerly wind that comes from the Himalayan areas, so the entire northern plains become again colder, is due to the cool wind that blows from the western side makes the area cool. Generally, winds blowing from the lower latitudes, that is equator, are warmer than those winds coming from higher latitudes, that is poles. So the winds which blow from the equator are a bit warmer, and the winds which blow from the higher latitudes are cooler. Coming towards clouds and rainfall. Clouds are formed from water that has evaporated from oceans, rivers and lakes. You could see when there is cloud cover, there is less temperature. The sun rays are blocked by the clouds, so it is balanced. And in terms of rainfall as well, if there is extreme hot and rainfall occurs, it balances the temperature of that place. This evaporated water cools and condenses, forming clouds which come down in various forms of precipitation and moderates the temperature of that place. They also prevent insolation from reaching the earth's surface and prevent the terrestrial radiation to escape. So during the daytime, if the cloud cover is there or it is covered with the clouds, they block the insolation to reach the surface of the earth. And if the presence of cloud is there during the night time, they also protect or they also block to escape from the surface of the earth to outer atmosphere. So that is how the clouds play a major role to keep the terrestrial radiation warm during the night time. Slope of the land. The relief features slope of the land help in modifying the temperature in three ways. There are three ways how the slope of the land is modifying and the temperature is being affected is due to the land that is situated in a particular direction, right? There are 3 points that we need to understand. Presence of mountains acting as a barrier. We can take example of Himalayan mountains. You can see Himalayas prevent the monsoon winds from leaving India and also prevent the cold winds from China to enter India. So that is acting as a barrier, a fence like. So the monsoon wind is not escaping from India due to the presence of Himalayas, and the cold wind during the winter season, it doesn't allow to enter India, making India very cold. So that is how the mountains play a barrier to protect the temperature of a particular place. And the second point, you can see inversion of temperature. There are some places nearby the mountains or the valleys areas. As we know, what is temperature inversion? That means the temperature doesn't reduce, right? It remains the same as it is. It increases bit. Then direction of slope of land. So how it matters in which directions slope of the land is there, and if the sunlight is heating towards that directions, will be more heated, or if it is opposite of that, the sun will not be heating up that much, so it will maintain its temperature. Let's see what is it about. Slopes facing south in the northern hemispheres are warmer than those facing north because sun rays strike the south facing slopes at a steeper angle than they do at the north facing slopes, which are called sheltered slopes. Vegetation, that means forest cover. It checks radiation from upper layers of soil. There is a lesser range of temperature variation in forest areas than in deserts. So I can see the forest cover, wherever the presence of forest is there, the temperature is very less or moderate temperature is experienced, because you may be knowing the term photosynthesis, right? The plants absorb the heat, making the areas cool. But as we compared, when we compare to the desert is the place where absence of plants are there. So that areas will be having more temperature as compared to the places which are having the vegetations. The next one is nature of the soil. The more the water soil can retain, the less rapidly it heats or cools. Dark colored soil absorbs more heat than the light colored soil. This gives rise to difference in temperature. You can see the dark colored soil will be absorbing more heat, and the light color soil will be absorbing less heat. You take one example during the summer season. If you wear dark color dresses, we feel more heat. But if we wear the light color dresses like white color, we get less heat than the color which is very dark black colors. That is, more heat will be absorbed. The same way it is also applicable to the soil as well. The loamy and the clay soils retain water, and sandy soils absorb and release heat more quickly. So the loamy and the clay soil, or it is also known as black soil, is retaining more water and absorb more heat, and sandy soil also will be absorbing more heat, but it is light colored and it will release heat very fast. Thank you for watching this video so patiently. Any doubt, any queries you have, please do ask in the WhatsApp or leave a comment in the YouTube. All the best.